Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. My name is Rachel Powers Doyle, and I'm with the Communications Department at Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare. In just a moment, Nurse Jackie Morton is going to speak, and afterwards, she'll take questions. As always, we'll try to get to everybody, but if we run out of time, you can always reach out to me through email. Just a reminder, if everybody can put themselves on mute, unless you're asking a question, that would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'll hand it over to Jackie.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here. I am the System Director for Infection Prevention for Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare. And just to give you a little bit of background on what's going on here, overall, our positive COVID patients in our hospital are really stable across our system. We are keeping a close eye on the trend in the community. And, you know, with that being said, we do want to be very vigilant and respect this virus to make sure that we don't reverse the declining trends. So today is the first day of early voting in Shelby County. And since the virus is still present in our community, we do want to make sure that we have the best information to safely exercise our right to vote. So I just wanted to kind of go over some tips to vote safely. One thing is just being able to plan ahead, make sure you know where you're going, make sure you know your sample ballot and you have that in hand so that you decrease the amount of time that you're at the voting poll. And it's a good idea to bring a black pen so that you don't have to share pens there. And then part of the just practicing some, you know, healthy hygiene before and after you go to the polling location, do hand hygiene. And you can do hand hygiene for 20 seconds with soap and water, or you can use the hand sanitizer. It's also a good idea to take a small hand sanitizer with you. Be sure you're wearing your mask. And just a couple of tips on the mask, be sure that it is over your nose and over your mouth and you're completely covered. And then if you do have to cough, don't take the mask off. Be sure that you use your elbow to cough. And the entire time you're there, whether you're in line, whether you're inside, or you're talking with a poll worker, be sure to stay 6 feet or more away from everybody else there. Even though you're wearing a mask, it's important to do the social distancing. And do consider some voting alternatives. Instead of voting on election day in November, you might want to vote early. That helps avoid crowds. Another thing that helps avoid crowds is really just thinking about going at an off-peak time, like going in the mid-morning or mid-afternoon is good. If you are driving to the poll and you have to be with someone else in the car, be sure that you both wear your mask in the car. Then you can monitor the line from your car and then go in when it's shorter. Just a little bit about what's going on with our system. As of this morning, for our 6 hospitals for Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare, we had 72 admitted COVID-19 positive patients, and that compares to 75 from last week. Today, 31 of the COVID positive patients are in the ICU. Last week, we had 26. And as of this morning, Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare has 11 ICU beds available in our system, and that's the same amount that we had this time last year. It is important to remember this is really just a snapshot, in a single data point, and the number of beds fluctuates throughout the day based on staffing and on availability. I think that kind of covers the kind of what's going on in our system.
Great, thanks so much, Jackie. So we'll now open it up to questions. Folks, if you can please use the raise the hand button, that would be greatly appreciated. So how you can find that is at the bottom of the Zoom window, you'll see a participants button. If you click on that, there's a panel that will pop up on the right-hand side of the screen. And at the bottom there, you should see the raise the hand button. So if you do that, then we'll be able to call on you if you have any questions for Jackie. Let's go to Hannah Grabenstein. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Hannah.
It's no problem. It's Grabenstein. I'm new to Memphis. I'm with MLK 50. I'm wondering, do you expect to see a spike in COVID cases after any early voting or even after Election Day?
You know, it's really hard to say. I hope that everyone will be safe and do social distancing. We have not, you know, we are seeing spikes after holidays, but this is just, you know, a short amount of time at the poll. And I think if everybody follows the safety precautions, we could be in good shape. So we'll just have to, hard to predict what's going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see.
Great. And Hannah, do you have a follow-up question?
You know, actually I do. I'm just wondering, are there any communities that you see this as, you know, more at risk or that need to be more or less careful, or just everybody across the board, you know, should be worrying about these things?
Yeah, I don't really see one community needing to be more vigilant than the other. I think we all need to equally follow all of the safety precautions with you know, hand hygiene, wearing the mask, and social distancing. I don't think anyone really is, you know, needs to let their guard down at this time.
Thanks for that, Jackie. Want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to ask a question who has one. Again, you can utilize that raise the hand button. Give you folks a little bit to find that. Well, Jackie, I'm not seeing any other hands. Do you have a final message before we go for the day?
Yeah, I think I would just say my final message would be to really think about if you had a coworker who you work closely with that came in tomorrow and said, I'm positive with COVID, or they called and you got worried, or you got word that they were positive COVID. You know, don't have any regrets. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to think back. Did I social distance? Did I wear my mask? Do all the right things so that you don't have any regrets in the event you do have close contact with someone that ends up being COVID positive.
Great. Thank you, Jackie. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. We're scheduled to be back here next week. Everybody have a good day.
Okay, thanks.